Happy birthday, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Dave's Arcade, thanks for the raid. We are just starting. I just popped in. As you know, Dave's Arcade, he's a fellow Mark's Basement Arcade person, host. I don't know, I'm mumbling. But yeah, Dave's one of my good friends. He's been over here. We've tore apart games. Actually, I think he helped me tear apart the head on the game we're working on today, the Star Pool. So, which is very cool. I just found the screwdriver in the garage because I destroyed my last one. So, I don't know the Ender's Tools USA. I gotta put a little oil on it. But anyways, yeah, thanks, Dave. Dave's got his own channel, Dave's Arcade on Twitch, which I think is Brenna98, but I believe he's going to change it to Dave's Arcade once his YouTube also gets 100, which is also Dave's Arcade. Hey, Attack777, thank you. I was just on Dave's show about an hour ago. He was doing my Flight 2000 playfield, and his solar fire is right over there behind Star Pool. It's broken down right now. I'm just waiting for him to get done with that playfield. But if you want to follow Dave's Arcade, the fastest way to follow him is to go here, which is my Mark's Basement Arcade link. Go to that, go to channels, and then you can find Dave's Arcade there. Since he doesn't have 100 people yet, it's a little harder to find his name, but he's in my awesome channel list, so it's really... Oh, you just changed today? Good job. So, if you want to follow him on YouTube, just go to my YouTube link that I just put there and go to channels, and then you can get Dave's Arcade right through there too. So, which is really cool. Today we are gonna work on the bottom of the Star Pool. I keep thinking Solar Fire because... Oh, you changed it on Twitch. Oh, yeah, that makes sense because we're on Twitch right now. But yeah, we're going to work on a Star Pool, but I keep thinking Solar Fire because I just watched Dave work on a Solar Fire, which is looking damn good right now. We're going to be rebuilding one stepper, and then we're going to just go from there and wing it. And what you see behind me is Wildfire, which is all done and ready to go. And this right here will be on Buffalo Pinball next Friday at 8 p.m. on Twitch. So I'm excited for that. They're going to come over here and destroy my basement a little bit more than it's already destroyed. No, I'm actually going to move this out of the way. I actually did clean a bunch of stuff out. I got a game that's either leaving or it's going to get tucked away in my basement. You can see it when I flip the camera. And what else? And this is just driving me nuts. My security scan on my laptop has scanned the system like, there it goes again, like 5 times. Cancel. There. Hopefully that did it. That would have been number 6. It's driving me nuts. It just keeps popping up and wanting to scan my computer. But anyways, yes, we're going to tear apart that stepper, clean it correctly. There it goes again. You can see why it's driving me nuts. How many times does it have to scan it? Because it went through like 3 full scans in the past hour already. So why does it got to keep scanning it? I'm just keep waiting for it to pop up again. There it goes. It's like I'm just going to end up leaving it. And yeah, I'm going to blame Dave. I'm going to totally blame Dave. But anyways, I got some junk I got to bring over. Because as usual, I am never ready for these. I don't know why. I get everything else ready, but I don't like get my tools too ready. Right there. There's Dave's Solar Fire. You can see just the back of it. That's the back of the machine right there. And then the head would go right there. So yeah, you can just see a little bit of his machine. I had to move it because my basement is jam-packed. This is the one. It's either going or I'm knocking it down and burying it in my basement. That's a Chicago coin Pirate Gold. It's got some real bad wiring hacks on it. Why don't I just hit scan again on my laptop and let it scan. Let's hit scan again because it's going to do it anyways. Yeah, that's either going to go back to its owners or I'm knocking it down. I'll leave that there. Or I'm going to knock it down and put it in my collection. Because as of right now, it's a parts machine. It's been hacked on pretty bad for the flippers. They removed a couple important relays for the flippers, and they bypassed the wiring to the coils. There it goes again. I imagine the coils probably were glowing red before they melted. So I told them, with the price of me finding parts, getting the parts, putting the parts on, doing all the upgrades that need to be done to the pop bumpers, because Chicago coin pop bumpers are just crazy how they are. I wish I could turn that completely off. They're crazy how they are with their skirts and their switches, so that would need a full upgrade. I wish you could see this. There, it's wants to scan. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Turn it off, and within a minute or two, it's gonna pop back on. There we go. This is what, number 8? Cancel. It's like I said. See, it's driving me nuts. And I'll stop it, and it will just go do it again. But anyways, let's get back to this machine. 2 cameras. I don't know if you need to see me in this little machine. Well, clearly I'm not going to see the chat on the screen, so I just might as well move this over like that. I'm not going to be able to read it, but this one. There. Alright, you can kind of see me a little bit better. I really turned down my, what do you call it, the bit rate or whatever on here so I could run 2 cameras again. My CPU would always max out and blow up and go crazy. Shut down my system. So anyways, and then again I need a wrench for that. I got my coils, 7/16, screwdriver. Alright, we're going to take this bad boy off, and it's got screws that hold it down. This is one of the advanced steppers for it. I will show you what it's doing. It is stepping up correctly, and it is stepping down correctly. My problem is it's really slathered with grease on the side, and I didn't rebuild it. So my games, I rebuild everything, even if somebody else did it. No offense to anybody else. There's only a couple people I would trust rebuilding stuff. I did not rebuild this, so I have to rebuild it the way I rebuild it. Just kind of weird that way. You guys can see it pretty good. Alright. There we go. So there's 6 screws actually on the back of this thing that we got to take off. I'm going to take one side off right away. And what's good about this too is that I can get to certain things like light bulbs and replace them while I'm working on it. Screws, let's put them over here in a prop rod hole. Now, there's a trick with removing this is I'll get a plain screwdriver. There's a bolt on the other side of the finger here, but what I do is I take a screwdriver, and you can kind of see where the hole I'm going through. This will allow the gear not to turn as I unbolt it. There, it is off enough now where I can get these fingers out, and I will show you them. And before I do that, I want to mark it so I know where home is. Marking it is just so when you line it back up, you know where everything is. I'm just gonna go right on here. And mark it like that. Hey, look at my bald spot. So we're going to take this off. It's got a washer too. And those will go over there. And you can see how I marked it right here with the marker. That way I know when I put it back on here, it's on the correct home spot. None of these are straight. They're all wiggly. They're all going like this. So I need to bend all these perfectly straight, or as straight as I can get them. Wipe the globs of grease off. That I should probably do now. Get all the grease off of them. Yeah, that I always had a problem with trying to get them off, and I'm like, why don't I just jam a screwdriver in there, and that way it will not spin, because otherwise I used to hold it with my hand and try to break them loose, which is a real pain. Now these were just slathered with grease. I put grease on them, but not to the extent that these were. These were really bad. And this gear actually is exactly the same on both sides, so I could have put it back in like this, or I could put it back in like that. It doesn't matter. But I still like putting them back in exactly how I took them out. There, all that grease is off. I'm gonna need my buzzer too. I'm gonna start straightening these out. Get my tool. I'm gonna turn off wildfire because I'm gonna need the outlet for that. Get my buzzer. Here's my buzzer. This is Harbor Freight generic Dremel. It's got a actual Dremel 443 bit on it. Dave gave this to me on the first stream that he was over working with me. So I appreciate that, and I use it to this day. Alright. So these, I've got the wrong finger adjuster. Actually, maybe I'll keep it over here. Alright. These, just in case that one works better, I'm just gonna tweak all these so they're straight, which is a real pain in the butt. And some of them, it's probably going to be easier for me just to tweak with my fingers. But to twist them straight, I'm going to use the tool. What I want to do is I want to get these so they're all even. this on autofocus and we'll blur you in here. You can kind of see how they're not all even across. These ones are a lot more even. By getting them all even, they're gonna ride on a stepper correctly, flat, level, and they'll all have the exact same pressure on them. Actually, this might be better if I stand behind the camera. Where are we? I think that's about good right there. And this is also Mark's Basement Arcade wash day. It's atrocious. I do my wash during the streams. So what you just heard was my wash machine shut off. But I'm really weird about these. I like these to be all exactly the same. I'm like that with switch gaps too, with any relays. I'm really weird about them all being the exact same length. But yeah, you'll learn a lot of weird little tricks from me if you keep watching this show. I got a bunch of them. Dave's taught me a couple. I might have taught Dave a couple. I've learned from other people. That it just looks really like bent weird to me. Could be optical illusion. I think that's pretty good right now. This one's a little twisted. How's that one? A little twisted. I might have to twist these back too once we get it back in the machine, because sometimes you need to get them a little wonky in order for them to ride correctly again. Focus. There we go. Okay, now that we got that off, and of course I don't have my steel wool, well, not steel wool, my green 3M scrubby pad, which I don't think I will need on this one, because I know the last owner of this game, and he cleaned them, I think, exactly how I clean them. So I might just need to wipe the grease off and apply new grease. Well, it's not really grease, it's Super Lube. You get this at Harbor Freight. This stuff is the bomb. It's really super good. Alright. Yeah, this is pretty clean, but I am still going to wipe it off and re-clean it my way. See, he's got a top here, and then I got a top there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I will re-clean these again. Now, there's two ways you can clean these. These have been cleaned once before. They could use another little cleaning. I am going to use probably the buzzer on them, which is my Dremel. And again, you will understand why I call it the buzzer. The reason why is these are, the way the rivets are, they have been hit in and they got a cone shape in the inside, and I can tell this has been gone over once before. There's still a lot of grease in there. I'm going to have to scrub it real good. It's been gone over once before, and I can see the unevenness of the rivets, that there's parts of the rivets that have never actually been cleaned. So I'm going to use the buzzer on them, which I normally don't do. Normally will just go like this and clean them, which maybe that is going to work. Maybe there just wasn't good force applied to them. Yeah, I guess that's about it. But I can show you how the buzzer works. Extension cord. Plug wildfire. Set that there. Plug it in. And now you guys can experience the buzzer. So you can discover each contact. Like that and clean them off. There are people that do that. I like the green Scotch-Brite. No, this is, if you drop it sometimes, the buzzing completely goes away and it sounds really super nice. I can't get rid of this. Dave gave it to me. It's a memory thing, you know. It's a keepsake. No matter how loud this tool is, I am going to continue using it until it breaks because Dave gave it to me. No, I can't. No, it's a memory thing. You know, it was a good thing. You know, when he gave it to me, I was like, you know, really, you know, shocked and happy that, you know, he did that. So yeah, it's something I cherish. So the tool, I will use it until it falls apart or it vibrates loose in my hand. But yes, then I will step up and get probably a cordless Dremel. But as of right now, I love the buzzer. And the buzzer will stay with me until the bees fall out of it. And that is how I polish the stepper blades. There, and those are nice and clean right now. Yes, they just needed a really deep scrubbing. What I like about these, and I'll tell you why, is look at this thing. See how it's just all rattly? It actually falls apart as you clean it. And that lets you know that this is the sacrificial tool, not the rivets. So as it cleans the rivets, I don't know if you can see it, but there's all dust down in this area from this tool. You might be able to see it better. There's all dust down here now. There's a pile right there. Oh. There. It's a pile of dust from this. So that's why I like using this. Some people use steel wool. Steel wool, never use steel wool. Because the steel wool breaks down and you get little chunks of steel wool all over. Okay, we're like that. I just dropped you down too, didn't I? Really want to get this camera. Let's do this so you guys don't get seasick. Alright, I'm going to move the camera up again, but otherwise you're going to get seasick watching me move the camera up. Alright, get it down where I am. Maybe I'll just switch the cameras. Do I mobile cam? Here we go. There we go. That's even better. Like Dave, like I said, I can't get rid of your tool. Alright, we are here now. And we got a good picture, which is good. Alright, we are now going to take this apart, and I need another screwdriver. I feel like Dave today in a stream where he was looking for plastic razor blades. Just jumping back and forth. I am going to loosen this one. And then this one, I'm going to no. Wrong. I forgot this has the bracket there. So I will tighten these both up. And then I will remove a wiring harness first. There. Now I have a little room. So we will remove these screws on the side. My buzzer. I love my buzzer. Two screws if you can get the screwdriver in there. Problem is, I'm doing all the videoing for you guys so you can see. If I was doing this by myself, I would be standing where you're looking. Alright, that is off. The reason why I did that off is because now I can get this all off. And my camera is right here. Can you let us... This is the advance. There's actually a series of lights right here. This will advance your score. The lights will go up, and then when you drain a ball, this will count down and give you the points for everything that's in the score area here. That's what it will do. Now, as you can see, I'm taking photos. I have taken these apart a billion times, but this part right here always messes with me. And I forgot to open my soda. Well, not my soda. This is Arnold Palmer. I call it my crack. I like to have it on my streams. Only time I drink it. It was a gift from an owner that I sold a game to. She gave me a 12-pack, and I said I would drink them on my streams. So every time Dippin' Donuts comes on, she can see that I'm drinking the Nectar of the Gods, Arnold Palmer. I learned as you take this stuff off, just clean it right away. So it's out of your way then. We're going to take this spring off right here. It should be wound 3 or 4 times. This counter does lights and score. This is called Star Pool, so it's got a rack of balls in the center of the table. And so that's kind of like your score. You know, it tells you how many points. So this should spin around clockwise 3 or 4 times, or 3.5. So we go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, almost 4. So that's good. Tuck that right there. Now we'll get this spring off. This red spring right here, if you throw it in an ultrasonic cleaner, or if you clean it really good, it will not be red anymore. The red serves no purpose. See, it's red right now. It really serves no purpose. As you can see, my rag is getting red. And this is just generic shop towels. You know, like the the green ones, the blue ones. This is just the generic version of them. This was also a gift from one of my customers. So speaking of gifts, right there is a excellent place if you want to get gifts for that special someone you love. You can get them some Mark's Basement Arcade swag. I just opened that store. It helps support the channel. Everything goes back into the channel, and it helps my channel grow. It helps me get different machines for you guys to work on, new tools to work with, and it helps me show new products that I use. So yeah, everything that I make, I roll back over into Mark's Basement Arcades, into inventory, machines, parts. Like hopefully that Pirate Gold will be a part machine. This is naphtha. Why do you have naphtha in a bottle? Because most people will take that can, and the first thing you do is you take it and you go like this, and then you go and wipe all your junk down. And what do you do when you're done? You take your towel again, put it on here, and then you shake more on. What you just did is all the dirt, like right here, that you wiped off, you just transferred it back into your full container. So that's why I use that. Now I need to get Q-tips. That's why I use that. It lets me just put a couple drops on here, precise drops wherever I want to put them. And then I never have to worry about contamination. But I do have to worry about not putting a lid on and then knocking it over. And don't ask me how I know about that one. That's one of my favorite ones. Alright, I want to talk to you about some of my favorite YouTubers and Twitch people. So I like to promote people because they promote me. And what that does, it keeps our pinball hobby growing. By the more people you learn and find out about, the more educated you become, and overall a better repair tech or friend or whatever you want to call it. You just learn more, and learning more is always good. Man, that's nasty. So, you guys already know about Dave's Arcade. He did the big raid here, which was awesome. Dave works for American Pinball, which is awesome too. And he knows his pinballs. He's got like 50 something of them, and almost all of them are up and working, except for like 5 or something like that. So, next we got one of my friends from work. His name is Travis Hoved Gaming. He does a lot of gaming on PlayStation 5. So if you're interested in watching people game, live stream, check him out. He's also in my awesome channels along with Dave. And check him out. If he's something interesting to you, drop him a subscribe. And then Mike's Classic Pinball. He's a real awesome guy. He posts videos whenever he wants to. He has no real set schedule. But he's another guy I really like to watch. He's a good friend too. I've never met him. I've only met him, through the internet. That's how I met a lot of my friends, though. You got them. Now you got Tanner Walters. He's also an awesome channel. He developed a thing called the EM Scorekeeper. That is a mod that you can add to any EM machine, and it adds a little digital display to your apron, and it allows you to punch in your initials. This is loose. Punch in your initials and get put in your high scores. I will have to get a hammer and go in another room and tap this in a vise, because this is loose. I will need to smash this crimp a little bit. But yeah, did the EM scorekeeper. Where did I put my junk now? There we go. So okay, we got Tanner Walters. Now, if you don't know about this guy, Pinball Shenanigans, yeah, he's another interesting character. Check him out. I don't really need to tell you much about him. His channel tells you all. He wings everything. He's got like really no plans, and if instructions come with it, usually they are never used. So if you like somebody that does things several times over and over again, and if you like yelling at the screen and say, no, do it this way, you'll enjoy watching Pinball Shenanigans. Now we got another, which is my buddy Pinball Wizard. I actually got him into pinball, and he has been quite the pinball tech learning over the years. I call him Danielson. He had bought a Fun Fest, a Williams Fun Fest. That's a 4-player swinger. And he was like, if I want to buy this game, but I don't know nothing about pinball. I'm like, dude, buy it. I said, I have the exact same thing except it's 2-player. I can walk you through every little part, and we can go through it together. So since then, he's been a wonderful friend also. He lives out on the East Coast. But what he does on his stream, he's got TikTok, and he's got his YouTube. But he just does a lot of, just videos of like gameplay and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll do some work on a machine and just show, some of the results, like how the lights are or stuff like that. Or he'll just do some gameplay. He'll be bored and just take one of his games and do a little gameplay on it. So that's them. And then you got Pinball Mayhem. It's my buddy Jeremy. He is the one who helped me get into making YouTube videos and everything else to do with pinball. He also lives in Wisconsin. He's been a very good friend over the years. I have met him several times at MGC, and I have been up near his house to go to an event where him and Ed is also another member of YouTube. Pinball. Pinball Mayhem. Excuse me, I'm having brain farts. But yeah, check them out, Ed and Jeremy on Pinball Mayhem. Ed Owens. Ed is also a tvMGC streamer. He normally does Tuesday nights, except for he just changed jobs. So he's trying to get the company that he is working for now moved, situated, and back up running good. So he is not on at the moment, but hopefully he will be back soon. Now, who else do we got? TurboGrafx-7, aka Ryan and Dave, the dynamic duo. They are on Twitch Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time. And they do pinball. They play pinball. And you'll probably never see the same game twice in a year on their show, because Dave has quite the collection and Ryan's got a good collection too. So, and then sometimes they travel, like to my house next Friday, and then they stream others' games. So, like I said, you'll never see the same game twice in a year unless they decide to do it for some reason. So, I guess that's it for my plugging all my friends' channels. And what I'm doing here, I can't get behind this. So I threw a bunch of naphtha in there, and I'm just rattling this back and forth to get it in there so I can get all the caked old grease out of it, which I believe is out now. I think that's what gets me high and goofy is this naphtha. And maybe I should switch to something else. Because sometimes I just get goofy and I forget stuff when I do this. But it's like during streaming. I don't know if I'm getting out of air from talking so much or what, you know what I mean? Or it's the naphtha. I'm beginning to think now it's the naphtha. Okay. That is now free and moving. I'm going to let that dry out a little bit in case there's any little wet naphtha in there, which I don't think so. Then I will take my Super Lube pen and I'll put a couple drops behind that. Flick it around again to get some lubricant behind there, because you can't take this apart because it's a pressed on like rivet thingamabob assembly. I'm going to go in another room and smack this on my vise with a hammer real quick and tighten this up. I'll be back in a couple seconds. You'll actually probably hear me. Okay, I'm at the vise. I have my hammer on it, and tighten it up. Yep, one smack. So I'll tell you how I did it. See, that was quick, wasn't it? I just put on the vise like this. I put on the vise like this. I took my ball peen hammer and I put the rounded part on here, and then on the flat end of it I smacked it with another hammer. Just one smack, and then I tighten that up. You don't want to get too crazy on it and start destroying some stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, since we took that switch stack off, this will magically slide out. And as you can see, this is all grease here. If you give me $5, I'll lick it real quick. No, I'm not that crazy. Well, with this naphtha, I might be actually crazy enough to do it. So now we're going to take the naphtha. As you can see, I like using corners of the towel. It's just something I do. Didn't learn that from anybody, but I just do that. Now when I'm done, you will notice what this grease did. It actually etched the gear and changed the colors. It kind of like almost blued it, like you do with guns or pinball ramps. They're like blued. Hey, my computer quit doing the stupid virus scan, unless it's under the. No, it's still. I will turn it off. Unless it's under. It was underneath the thing. I don't know if it was just there. Yeah, it's still doing it. Stupid thing. So we'll just put it behind the screen. Alright. Welcome new people that just popped in. I appreciate you all that are coming in. Today we are working on a star pool. And we're just rebuilding the advanced unit stepper. Like I said, this one was working, but I did not rebuild it. So in order for me to sell a game the way I sell them, I have to rebuild everything. There are a lot of people that don't do that. A lot of people are just like, they buy a game in order to flip. That's what I bought this game for. I bought it just straight for flipping. They buy them to flip them. And what they do is they go through the game. What doesn't work, they either lubricate, or if they have to, they clean and rebuild, or clean and lubricate. Just the one part. Like if this is sticky, they would have took this off, cleaned it, put it back in, and then been done with it. Okay, it works. Not me. This whole thing gets disassembled. I take the plungers out, I clean them off, I put new sleeves in, I put it back together, I wipe all the dust and crud and everything off of it. That is how I do my machines. But there are a lot of people like, I'll put new rubbers on it, there's 3 burnt out bulbs, I'll replace them, it gets a wax job, flippers are doing good, everything's scoring correctly, and boom, it's done. And then they sell them. And then 2 months later, you're like knocking on their door, yeah, that machine I just bought you broke, you know, and then they're like, you bought it, you know. It's yours. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be that guy like, hey, I bought this machine off Mark's Basement Arcade, and man, I've had it for 3 years now, and not one single issue. It's been, you know, perfect. We got one screw in that coil stop, so I have to get another one. Or, I want you to be that guy like, yeah, I bought a machine off Mark's Basement Arcade, and I had it for 2 months, and it developed an issue, and Mark came out and fixed it, and it's been working perfect ever since. Because sometimes with EMs they do develop odd little issues after I sell them. So whenever I sell a game, I always tell the people, don't be afraid to call me up. So there's probably going to be something odd that pops up that I have to come adjust. I usually try to keep them 1 to 2 weeks to test them after they're done. That's nice and clean. But like I said, there are people that don't do what I'm doing. Like I said, the stepper was working, so why would you take it apart? I gotta clean this and file it. Why would you take it apart and fix it then? This is the only way I can honestly sell a game to somebody and let them know I did go through this game fully. And usually all my games are all documented on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, there's my YouTube channel. Check it out. I put up videos every week, and then sometimes I put odd videos up too. I gotta go get a file for this real quick. It's got a little bit of rough edges on it, and that's just going to tear up the coil sleeve. So I want to file those off. Like I said, if I didn't take this apart, I would have never found it had those rough edges on there. And those will eventually go through the coil sleeve and then into the coil, and then it's going to short out your machine and blow a fuse. So yeah, if you don't rebuild a machine correctly and then sell to a person, you're just not doing a good job. That's why I call them flippers. I have a Bally Knight Rider that's right there. You can't really see it. They bought that game in December. I think it was a Christmas present. It broke down shortly after they got it. I told them, you know, I would go through it and completely tear it apart and rebuild everything. And when they got it here, usually one of the first things I do is I take the back glass out. And I got a storage area in my house that nobody goes to, and there's nothing in it besides back glasses. And I took the glass out, and I found 3 brand new bulbs behind the back glass, and everything else was the original old bulbs on it with all that soot, you know, they get over the years. So right away I knew it was a flipper game. Somebody bought it and flipped it. They just got it to do its job. There, that is good. This is just a fine sander file. So what I did is I just took that edge off of that, and now it is in good shape. I'll give you another tool. I have I have a whole bag of those flap wheels. Actually, probably I think I got 2 bags of them. So, no, I'm cool on that. I bought them. I've never used them. I don't know why. I guess I should. But no, I have them. I just got to use them. But you're talking about the spinning flap tool for the edges of the plunger. I'm gonna have to wash my hands too. The reason why is because this junk is so dirty, and I'm just gonna get it dirty as I'm cleaning it because my hands are dirty, and this is dirty. Yeah, you know what I should do? I should just get another Dremel. I have a corded one. I don't like using it just because it's got the giant long cord on it, and it's a fat giant cord. I don't like using it, so what I maybe just do is I'll get an actual regular Dremel, and I'll use your Dremel, and I'll put that tool on it for deburring those. And then the cordless one I'll use for cleaning the switches off. That way I can still use both, because I'm afraid the buzzer I have has something wrong with it, and I want to keep it buzzing as long as I can. So if I use it for another type of job, I still have it, and I'll still use it, and I'll still have the memories attached to it, and I won't be tossing it out as a unused tool. So if I get that and I put the flapper tool on it, I can still use it. Do I have a ooh, I do. Alright, let's do this. Sony one, Basecam. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm confusing you guys. Sony one. Can I grab it? Nope. Let's do face cam. Oh, yeah. Sony one I did. Come on. Okay. There we go. That is not what I wanted. I did not want that. Where's the face cam? I did not want that. I wanted the... That's not the right one. Both Sonys. There we go. I want this one bigger. Let's select that one. And we will make this one. No, I don't want that either. What do I want? I want the computer cam and the other one. No, I don't want that one either. One camera. No, we'll just keep it like that. I should make a separate click for that. I thought I had one at one time. I was thinking I was just gonna, I wanted to make my computer cam and then this camera right here where my elbow's at, so you could see me standing here. And then we'll use this one, but I'm going to have to make a whole new thing for that. And we're not going to sit here for 5 minutes while I try to do that. That was enough waste of time what I just did right now. Next stream, we will do that. This way you can see, watch me wash my hands. Yeah, I think Nick Shell or somebody else posted up in one of the EM groups that somebody was selling bags of them, so I think I bought 200. I think I bought like 200 flaps sets. So, yeah, I think we're both set then. But you are going to get some of those, what do you call it? The bridge rectifier heat sinks. You will get some of those. I have to just dig them, get them. When I get them, I'll give you some. Those are not them. I'm looking for screws, coil stock screws. I know I got a bag of them somewhere. Ooh, why are those open? Once I put them, I just have to look in my other thing. I move stuff around sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I got a bag of these, but I got a box of them. Alright. Machine screws. Those don't have nothing. Square reel. It's coil stops. There we go. That's what I probably did with them. I'll leave these here because I'm going to need them. And where did I put that other screw? Right here. It's got a lock washer on it. I'll lock that back up and I'll get some lock washers. For that. So when we put that back together, that's probably a number 4. Always when you ever go to a hardware store, if you need one, you don't need one. You need like 4 or 10. So whatever you buy one of, buy like 10 of. Every time you go to the hardware store, do that. Buy 10 of them. And that's how you get your little supply of extra parts. Same with coil sleeves. When I buy coil sleeves, I buy a bunch of them. I don't buy one. I'll be like, send me 50. Okay, that's... I see that. Yeah, this seems short for some reason. Yeah, always buy 50 coil sleeves. Trust me, you will use them. Can we go like this too? I like it sideways. Come on. Get in there. Electric screwdriver. Magnetic electric screwdriver. And it went in there tight, so I don't know why that screw was missing. And that's in there tight too. This is my new one out of the garage. Well, it's not really new. There. Now I need to go over here. There we go, look at it, it's brand new. This little piece of scotch tape on there to put the label back on. Loose as a goose. That one was kind of tight. Alright, Dave, catch you later. Well, actually, it's Friday. Unless something else different comes up. But yeah, I'll see you Friday for sure. Alright. We could probably go to tighter a little bit on this again. And thanks for the bits, Dave. So every donation you make to this show right here, you are making to MGC. I am a volunteer for MGC, the Midwest Gaming Classic. There's the link for Midwest Gaming Classic. I am a volunteer. All these shows I do is 100% donation to MGC. This channel makes money for MGC, which in turn helps them put on a better show for you guys if you go to the Midwest Gaming Classic. Now, the Midwest Gaming Classic is April 29th through May 1st this year, 2022. And it is not just a pinball show. Yes, you will see this pinball machine there. However, it is a gaming show. Anything to do with gaming... Oh, I forgot to put my microphone back. That might be louder. Anything to do with gaming will be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. So if you're into card gaming, board gaming, computer gaming, role play, cosplay, video games, console gamings, arcade, you will find it at MGC. So, there are cool people that are going to be there this year. I will be there. You'll get to meet Dave, who has just rated me. He works for American Pinball. You'll be able to meet Ryan there, which is also Dave's partner on the Buffalo Pinball show on Fridays at 8 p.m. Central Time on Buffalo Pinball. Is that good? You'll be able to play brand new pinball machines that have just been released and probably maybe not even out in the public yet. You'll be able to play them too. But yeah, it's the largest gaming show of its kind in the United States and I think in the country, in the world. So yes, you will see a bunch of really cool stuff, and I gotta get a flipper rebuild kit too. I don't know if I need a flipper rebuild kit. I think these are new coil stops on here. I just need the links. I believe I have those. But I want to get up that Knight Rider apart so I can see what I need for that. Oh, metal coil sleeve. Is it wore out at all? No. But it's garbage. To me, it's garbage. Look at that. But yeah, go to the Midwest Gaming Classic. It is a great show. You can meet people. You can buy games. If you're interested in this game, it will be there for sale. Unless it sells before, a lot of people will buy games before the show. They'll have them set up. you know, the deal's done, and then I just exchange them at the show. So yeah, if this doesn't sell now, I'm hoping it will be gone at the show. If not, I will bring it home. Doesn't matter much to me. It's a cool game. But yeah. Alright. Let's put that over to the side. Let's get my hands clean again. Just gotta keep them clean. I just don't like that black powdery stuff. It looks like we're just gonna get this one stepper done. We'll get a drop target or something done too, or a slingshot. Once we get this done, it's almost done. I just got to put a coil sleeve in it. We're putting it back together. The hardest part is cleaning. That's what takes the longest, is the cleaning, because you're removing all that gunk that's been on it for years, and you're putting it back together clean. So the cleaning always is the time waster. Alright, screwdriver. Screwdriver I'm using is a DeWalt. It is a gyro screwdriver. So how you work it is you just hold the button down and you turn your wrist. The more I turn my wrist, I don't know the model on it. It's a DCF 680. I love it. You can change the handle so it's a gun. I don't like it like that. I like it like this. Yeah, and then it's got the, you know, the chuck. I just keep it loose in my hand, and when it tightens up I can feel it spring. So that's just how I know I got stuff tight. And then I always check it with the screwdriver. Alright, now we can assemble. Now we're taking, remember that I told you we're going to lubricate this with super lube. This is the stuff we're using. It's all like it's super lube, but it's liquid, and it's in a pen, and it's really liquidy. So I'll put a drop around there, and then get a drop back here, and then a drop over here, and then we'll just do the same thing we did with it when we cleaned it with naphtha. This just throws the grease all over inside of it. Because you can't, like I said, you can't grease in there or lubricate. Did I put some on the back? I don't see any. I thought I did. I just don't see any remnants of it. I swear I did, unless it just flung it all in there. Usually there's like a little bit after splatter that I wipe off. I can see it on the other side, I just can't see it on the other in part of it. Now I can see it. Take the middle of the cloth, wipe the excess off. There. And towel's garbage. New towel. Alright. Putting it back together. Super lube. Love this stuff. Harbor Freight. It's, I gotta clean that out. It's actually some really super good stuff. I know Harbor Freight, you're like thinking, oh, junk. I've seen this stuff in mechanic places before Harbor Freight even sold it. Before there was Harbor Freight. So, Harbor Freight carries it, but other places carry it too. But I get it at Harbor Freight. Alright, that is cleaned out now. Now, if you take the pinky, you can see how much I've used. This is my first tube, actually, believe it or not. Put some on here. I got too much. So what I'm going to do is what's left over. Put just a little bit right here. Put some on the shaft here, because it's metal to metal. A little bit on this one too. And then what's left over, I'm going to start rubbing on this side. And here goes all my leftover. And I'll just rub in. Now here's the trick with Super Lube. On here, I'll wipe it off now. I am not wiping it all off. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. I'm just taking the layer I had off of it. And this will go in here. Now you see this groove right here. This right here is going to sit in there. What that does, this is a stop. It prevents this from going any further that way. See, it's a stop. So that will go on like that. This I normally put a little lubricant on, but since it's not riding to metal, I mean, it's not metal to metal, I don't. And technically, the lubricant I put on here, I didn't need because I forgot this is plastic. So I'll have to wipe that off now. I forgot that's not plastic. It's plastic, so it doesn't need any lubricant. Now we gotta clean that out. Since it's not plastic, we don't need any lubricant on it. I mean, since it is plastic, since it's not metal. That goes like that. Big C-clamp. Not C-clamp. C-clip. Goes there. And then I spin them with my fingers. That way I know it's fully in a groove. Okay, it's already doing something. Alright, that goes like that. This. Now we got metal to metal. This I'm going to put a little bit right there and there because it's going to rock in there. I'm going to put a little bit on the end here and a little bit on the end here because it's going to ride on that, and you're just going to get a little slop right there because that metal's going to ride on it. I don't put a lot, I just put a little. Next, wipe a little bit there and a little bit there, and this will go like that. Now we got a washer that goes on top of it. The last little bit of grease goes right there. Alright, now we got springtime. Well, it's actually getting towards springtime, isn't it? That goes like that. Little spring always goes to the little. Next spring here. We'll go there. This spring, it's got a big loop on one end, a small loop on the other end. Small loop goes on the small post. Big one goes to the big post. And I'll go all the way down to the bottom. And it will actually lock onto a groove, and that keeps the washer where it's at. Okay, trying to get there. We go. Now we did what it was like 3 turns, almost 4. So we're gonna go 1, 2. We're just gonna do 3, because since it's clean as it is, it should do its job. That's as far as it can go, because there's no teeth on that gear. And now when we click this, that's as far as it can go, because that's what that stop is for. Alright, let's get this around. Now these you can clean 2 ways. You can clean them with the buzzer, or I just use the Scotch-Brite. I rest my finger on it like this. I will rest my finger on it like that, and I'll just wipe it like that. What that does, it keeps my finger, keeps pressure on it with my finger, and it lets me press on it and then clean it. And with these, I'll lay my finger on it like that. I'll just clean it like that. The reason why I'm going this way is because if I come back this way, I might snag these and then bend them after I just straighten them out. So if I go like this, I'm not going to bend them. Trust me, I learned that one. It's not why, that's why I do it this way now. I don't need to bend anything anymore. Just teaching you guys these tricks, so when you do this, if you do this, if you do this, you can see how it's done and how you can make mistakes without making mistakes. So we got this back at the home position. Now remember, I put my line on it, which was here, and that will go right back like that, which was kind of over here, but it's not now, because I didn't have it all the way fully home. But like I said, if I take this off, you can see where these teeth are right now. If I take it off and put it back on this way, it's in the exact same spot, because we'll go here and here with the fingers. And when I put them back on this way, we're back on the same spot still. So now I'm holding the gear with my other hand and holding this down. I'll put the lock washer back on, and then the nut, we're going to tighten the nut down with my wrench. That's tight enough. Alright, we're home. I want to see where these teeth are. And I don't like them one bit. They're kind of off. They're all kind of off. Alright. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is show you another trick. I didn't crank it down crazy because I figured we might have to do this. There is a adjustment you can do on this. You shouldn't have to ever do this. But there is an adjustment. These two screws. You actually need to tighten them a little bit. This allows me to turn this board ever so slightly. So I want to reclock it. Yep, I like that. So now these are all sitting right in the center of the pads. Before they were off just a little bit. Every single one of them is setting correctly now. You shouldn't ever have to do this, but sometimes they're just a little off from the factory, or somebody was trying to compensate for a dirty unit and they just loosen them up, and then they readjust it and they're like, okay, it's perfect now because it's dirty. Instead of fully rebuilding it, you might have just tweaked it. Or just over the years of all the constant hammering these units do, it loosened itself up and, well, it didn't loosen, it just vibrated into a different spot. Alright. Now these are all perfect on the discs. They're not touching any other ones. Let's tighten this up. So now I'm gonna go through it. And make sure that they're all landing. And the easiest way to do it is you look between the forks here, and I can see the brown board between them. Before I could see gold like that between them. Now you can see it, the brown. Let me zoom in a little bit better. See, now we can see the brown of this between the forks. Before it was more like that. So they might have been touching a little bit. Now I'm gonna let's do it this way. Yeah, we gotta give that one more wind. It needed that number 4 wind. Alright. No, I don't like that. It's too hard for this thing to go up. Ouch. This will stab you right in your finger, the hook of this spring. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take the spring and move it to a different hole. This is just hooked into the hole here. And I can take it and move it over to here. There. Alright. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 winds in. Yeah, we're still not. We're going to move that again. We're going to move it so we can get 3.5 winds. We will move it back 1. Right here. Nope. You got to get down into it. There we go. Alright. So now we got 1, 2, 3. Alright. I like that. Not a lot of pressure going upwards. And it's got enough pressure to count down. I like that. That, I believe, is done. Alright, let's get my buzzer going. And we'll clean these contacts. But we will replace these bulbs here first. Yeah, we'll throw that out. Don't want to ever use that. Alright, to clean these bulbs, can you see them? Yeah, you can actually see them. Good. Q-tip. This is the top end rubbing alcohol. What is it, 91%? That is loose. So we will just push that out. Well, we got these cleaned. We will have to glue them back in. Alright. I knew that was happening. I remember that there was loose inserts. Where's my bulbs? That'll go in there. So we're going to put new bulbs in there. Are they in the machine? Or did I take them out? I took them out. Of course you did, Mark. Why would you leave them in the machine? Where are they? Here they go. Frosted Bullet Warm White. Oops. Here we go. Comet Retro SMD bulbs. These are very equivalent to stock original incandescent lighting. These are very equivalent to that. I love the Comet bulbs, so I use them exclusively for this. We're going to be gluing those inserts in. So I'm going to take these and bend them how I see fit. We get new bulbs in. We're going to glue some inserts in today, so I don't want to mess up and forget about those. So we got those, so let's get the stepper back on. Then we're going to go to gluing inserts, because I want to get those on before I forget. And we will pop some other ones up too. Another 6 screws that hold us back down. I guess if you put it in a hole. What the hell? Oh. I guess if you put them in the right hole, I forgot there's 2 giant ones and 4 little ones. And I happen to grab 1 giant one right away. So it doesn't go into a small hole. A big giant screw won't go into a small hole. Through metal, at least. We're going to get this here. Grab everything off the playfield. Get that wire out from underneath the thing. That's what happens when you hold them loose in your hands. It will pop out on you. Okay. I forgot this machine's got a ton of loose inserts. That we have to glue in. I mean a ton of them. Way too many. I've had other games too where I've had to glue almost everything back in. Beautiful. Alright, now we gotta put the harness back on. Screw that back down. Get this over here out of the way. We gotta put that switch on. We gotta get the buzzer first. And clean the contacts off of it. There. The buzzer. This. We'll go back like that. And of course you did that. This, I'll put the screws through here. Then they go through here. Like that. And then they go into there. Baby screwdriver. That will go there. That will go there. The bugaloos. the bugaloos. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just checking my switches, make sure I had them in the right spot underneath the lever here. Okay. Now I gotta adjust that switch. If I can find my other adjusting tool. And I bet you I left it on the playfield and I just can't see it. There it is, it's way over there. Told ya. Give it a little bend. The hell? Alright. I thought they were connected. They're not. It's that fish paper. It's throwing me off. Alright. And I got a little too close. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Too much on there. That's got a weird bend to it. Flashlight works better, Mark. Flashlight always works better to see this stuff. Too bad I moved that camera. I'm just adjusting the switches. This is just kind of like bent in a weird position. It's not like straight how it should be. That is down all the way. Up. Down. Up. Down. Okay, that's correct now. Up. Down. Okay, that's good. I can live with that. Alright, this leaf here that interacts with this rod, right here, this rod here, this leaf was just goofy. It didn't want to do what it was. This rod comes down and pushes this stack. And the end of here, it was bent in a weird way, and I needed to close this bottom switch, close this switch here, and then this one needs to open along with this one needs to open, and then when we go one step up, what it does, it opens this bottom switch here, closes this switch, and then closes this switch, which it's doing perfect. Yeah, so that is done. We gotta get to those inserts now. We can get everything off the top of this. Forgot about those inserts. Reason why we're doing them is because, well, I just replaced the bulbs and I want to make sure that I get them glued in back correctly. And we're about out of time. Anyways, let's switch the cameras. There we go. So let's get this flipped over. Nothing loose. There we go. And I should have put a fire bulb in there, which I think I will do. Do. I will show you these fire bulbs. These are so slick. I just love them. They're from Comet. I've been deciding I'm going to put them in like shoot again areas because they're just so wicked. It gives this impression of kind of like a fire. Let me turn the lights off so you can see it better. It's actually like 4 LEDs. Inside of it, one stays on and then the others rotate. See how it kind of gives like a fire almost? It's got that flicker. So yeah, that's what I decided to put in the comments on these. What do you call it? It's like same player shoots again. Now this is going to be the fun part. Getting it in, it would have been a lot easier on the other side to do it. It's going to be a lot harder now. Rubber tube. Perfect. This I can just probably drop in. Push it down. Give it a turn. There we go. I gotta order some more of them. Actually, I got some somewhere. I just gotta remember where they are. So I ordered a bunch. I used them on a customer game, and I must have just threw them over there. Alrighty. So, glue. We are just using wood glue. The reason why, Playfield's wood. This is glue. Alright. So we got this. This we know is going to go here. I have to go through all these, push them out. Same with all these. They all are loose. I might end up doing that tonight. Just go, I can use, this is what I do. I will actually have to flip this over later on and get this plate out. But then I take a screwdriver, like this tiny one right here, and I'll just go from underneath, like that. And they just come right out. When they are this loose, I mean these, a lot of these I can just rock with my finger. Like this one here. As long as I can get underneath of it, I can see the screwdriver. There. As long as I can get underneath it like that, I can just pop them all right out like that. Well, that one feels actually good. I'll see. Get a little closer. Nope, it's loose. I can see it moving. It's glued a little bit. But see it, they just come right out. And that is bad. Alright, we're gonna glue a couple of these. And then the rest I'm gonna glue by myself because you ever watch paint dry? That's about what we're getting at. Has anybody got any questions? Feel free to ask me instead of just listening to me ramble on. Ramble on. We'll sing my song. Do, 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 do. Don't be afraid of the glue either. It's wood glue, so you can wipe it off easy if you get it all over the playfield. It's water-based. Glad you did get glue all over that bulb. Do, 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 do. Oh, and these bulbs are like that. You got a nice glow to them. And again, these you can just let the glue dry on that end. There. Now, putting these inserts in, you notice there's a lot of black on one side. There we go. Notice there's a lot of black on one side and there's a little bit on the other. You will line that up with the playfield. And if you look really close on them, as you can see, I'm flickering it in the light like that. You can actually see the grain of how they did the final sanding of the playfield. And you want to line that up. All the playfields will have the lines going like this. So you want to line that up. I have more black here and then less here. So that means this went in like that. You just want to push them in. This one was good because it was still kind of tight. Push them in so they're level to the playfield. You can also do this. That works too. That's a flat edge. And then if you get them down a little bit too low, you just go underneath and give it a little push up with your screwdriver till it's level. Once you feel it's level, leave it alone. Now that leftover glue, that will come off easy later. Or you can just get a towel and lick it. Or just have it wet. Just go around in a circle and you can get that last little bit of glue off. That's good. And this one's got mill wax all over it. Yuck. Don't lick the same part of the towel you clean stuff off with. That's gross. Ugh. Alright. Same thing. We got more black here and less black here. and my grains are going that way. Just getting all that glue off. You want to do the glue right away. You can let it sit, but it will come off if you're going to novice it. Now I got it lower over here. I'm going to go in with my screwdriver and bring it up a little bit. Now, like I said, with your flat edge, you can just go like this around in a circle. That way you know it's flat to the playfield. I go by the touch. If I feel it's high over here, I'll push on the playfield and I'll push it down a little bit with my finger. Sometimes the playfield's warped a little bit, so you're never going to get it perfect. Now I pushed it down too far over here again. So now just coming from the back, push it up a little bit and correct it. Once you feel it's done, leave it. Some of these are so loose. What playfield was that I had was so loose? Dealer's Choice. These were so loose, I was constantly playing with them for a while to get them set. And I actually had to crazy glue them in because they were so loose. Now, I normally never will crazy glue or recommend crazy gluing them in, but they were so loose that I had to crazy glue them in. I mean, it was actually when I flipped the playfield over, some just fell out. Okay, I'm going to glue that up real good. And then we're going to throw that out, and then I'm going to clean this. This is actually very clean. Well, you know it's clean when you do that. And again, let's get all this mill wax off the side. This table had a lot of mill wax on it. Mill wax everywhere. And again, we get less black here and more over there. This will set in like this. You really want that grain to be matched up perfectly, because you will notice that if you don't. Wiping that glue off first. Now I'm going to mess with it. And if these things are stuck in there really good, leave them and glue them from the back if they're a little bit loose, because you can actually push these up and break them. So if they are stuck in really good but they are loose a little bit, just put some glue from the back on them. This open gate, I'll probably put just an orange bulb in there, just to accent it a little bit more. But yeah, don't force them if they feel loose but you can't get them out. Just glue them from the back. You don't want to break them. Then you're really in trouble. Then you're going to be looking on the internet for somebody who's selling a bad playfield, and you want to get some parts off of it. So we're going to do this one. This one? Wait. No, we are not. There's nothing wrong with that one. Some of these do feel loose. Eleven, I can feel loose. C, yeah, that's loose. Where am I? You're a mech in my way? Oh, what the hell? What is in my way? That had some crusty glue on it. I guess we're going to be doing a lot more of these then. This one's loose too. There. Look at that. You can always tell that they were loose because there's usually globs of mill wax in them. I'm just using some Windex. Clean out the mill wax that's in here. And don't use mill wax, people. It is not wax. That reminds me. My buddy was asking a question. He was just asking about wax. I've been trying to get him to use wax for a while. And he's like, yeah, I've given away plenty of bottles of mill wax I get with machines. And I just sent him in capitals, do not ever use mill wax. So, mill wax was a thing back in the day when you really had no other choice. Everybody used it. Nobody knew better. Now with all the technology that's out, people are like, mill wax is not wax. Do not use it. Let's get some junk on it. We don't use mill wax. That's as clean as that's getting. It's got some factory glue spots on it that I cannot get off. What about throwing these in ultrasonic cleaner, Mark? I would not. I would just do what I'm doing. The Q-tip and rubbing alcohol method. I can't guarantee that you're gonna still have lettering on them afterwards if you use them in ultrasonic cleaner, but I can guarantee you that with the top end alcohol and a Q-tip, you shouldn't ever have any issues with them. Now I got the factory bulb in there still, so I'm not worried about getting wax all over it. Normally those I change from underneath anyways. But that one, or whatever, these were underneath that mech, so it made it a little easier to change them. There. Get a little closer, don't be shy. Again, this is easy. It's the letter D. If you put that in wrong, pinball is not for you. But I've seen people put in 8s upside down. So, I guess I had a Ship Ahoy, and the 8s were put in upside down. You know, on some of the 8 fonts, you got the fat bottom on the 8 and then a small top on the 8. You know, it's big, basically a big 0 on the bottom of an 8 and then a large, like this. You can see how it's fatter on the bottom and skinnier on the top of that 8. Well, they had the skinny on the bottom and the large on the top. I don't know how you can do that, but they did it. So D. This one I'm probably going to have to play with. It's very loose. So a lot of these you'll push up and it will be good, and then you come back and then you gotta what do you call it, push them back up again. I don't know why in the hell I can't get to the C. What is blocking it? Okay. There. It feels pretty good. Except for right there. Good. Like I said, this one I'm going to have to give attention to. It falls down. That's one thing too about inserts. Once you start them, you just can't leave them. If they're loose enough when you put the glue in, it will go back down. And this one is. So let's bring it up. Let's put some more glue on it. What glue does is will also keep it up. It doesn't matter on the back if you got a lot of glue. Nobody's gonna see it. And always do this before you put your bulbs in, because you can see right here how I just painted that bulb. I just totally painted it with paint. I mean, glue. Alright, where's my paper towel? That's probably it back there. Windows. Alright. That one's good. 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 Maybe not. Good. It is so weird how this C, it's just like it's so hard to get at. And it doesn't matter anyways. And then we're going to go right here. I have to push it out. Yeah, I glue like... Did I even glue it? I don't think I glued that. I don't think... I didn't. Unless the glue just like dried up instantly. Well, that's probably why it wasn't doing anything. I did not glue it. Can you believe that? I can. I can totally believe it. So I think we're going to have episodes of me gluing. I'm going to try this. Because we're going to be taking things off, and then I'm going to be gluing as we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, come on. Everything wants to set good except for the bottom. I'll let that gum up for a little bit. I think it's good right now. Let's get this A and B done. Isn't this fun though? You get to watch me do some inserts on a game and learn about gluing inserts in and being scolded for using mill wax, and you might not even have used it yet. But we're almost done. I gotta clean this. Might as well just clean it with the Windex. This is the Windex I'm using is ammonia free. So I do not use the ammonia based Windex. Actually, I just use generic Windex. You can use whatever glass cleaner you want. Just make sure it has no ammonia in it. The ammonia can react with the plastics. So this is why I say don't use it. And I have to turn that one again. Jeez. And also, too, if you missed part of this episode, you can watch it again on Twitch. But I also put them on YouTube. There. I think that's a little better. I got stuff sticking to me. Garbage. So yeah, I also put them on my YouTube channel, Mark's Basement Arcade. Which is here. There's Mark's Basement Arcade. If you're interested in supporting my channel, I have a new clothing line for all your needs. Putting a lot of glue on these. Not messing around now. Whatever is flaking on the other side, I'll just wipe off, or I'll chip off later on, scrape it off. I don't want to be here all night playing around with these. I'll wipe off the tops. Out of the way. Which is good. Which is good. I'll put that A in. Make sure you put the A in the A hole. You don't want to put the A in the B hole. You want to get the A in the A hole, the C in the C hole, D in the D hole. You know what I mean, Vern? Now remember, if you like this game, if you have any interest in it, it will be at MGC for you to play and to buy. So if you are interested in a game that's been 100% gone through, this is the one to buy at MGC. I can probably guarantee there's going to be no other better fully shopped game than mine at MGC. Even solid state games I go through everything. If you watched the Hurricane episode, that's just dropping down. If you watched the Hurricane episode, I went completely through that too. Alright. How is these other ones? Oh, that's good. C is good. Yeah, maybe I can push up a little bit on it. I can find it. It's getting stiff now, which is good. So that means this is the last adjustment I will have to make on it. That's my computer. I'm like, why? What fan is running? C is... That's being evil with me. The front just wants to settle down more. I don't like the front. There. Stay like that. There. Stay. Okay. The D is good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now these C, D, and these I should not have to worry about anymore, because they're not moving now. C is good. A feels really good. And B is just, it's still floating. It's still floating in the glue. So, as you can see, I'm just doing some of these right now. I'm not doing any more. I am not doing any more tonight. Well, you never know. But I might stream Tuesday morning or Monday morning. I don't know if I'm gonna yet. That is not good. I'll just leave it for a little bit. I'll let it gum up. And then we'll say our goodbyes and stuff like that. There you go. There's Knight Rider right there, if anybody was wondering about it. That's the flipper machine. That was... Somebody bought it, changed a couple light bulbs, rubbers, made sure everything was kind of working, and then sold it to somebody. They got to play it for like a month, and then it decided to not work on them. So that was my buddy Mike Dimas. I've been trying to get him to use wax forever, and he's like anti-wax. He likes just to novice everything. And I'm like, no, man. I said, you gotta wax. Wax. Just try waxing one old machine. Wax one old machine and you will understand. Oh, that's so good. So anyways, tvMGC. This channel is not just pinball. It is a variety channel too. Dan will be on Monday night, and he will give you some info about MGC. So if you really want to know anything about MGC, Dan usually always has a Q&A with his streams. So get on there and feel free to ask Dan any MGC questions you have. And that ball is sticky, and there we go. We're going to put a little oil on it. So yeah, Monday, and I believe Thursday and today are the only shows left in MGC right now. I think Josh is taking a little break, and he usually does Fridays. And then I believe, well, Ed is still on his break. I don't believe that. I know he's still on his break. He's usually at Tuesdays at 7. So hopefully he'll be back soon. That is nice. So, and then Dan's on Mondays at, I think, 9:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. So yes, I'm fixing my screwdriver. I broke my other Harbor Freight one. So I'm using an old one I had in my garage. And since it was a garage tool, there's these little bearings that are pressed in there that make it clickety-clack. This is garbage. That make it clickety-clack are a little sticky. Now they're not. Somebody new just popped in, so I appreciate you coming in. We were just about done with the stream, but I'm Mark from Mark's Basement Arcade. I do a lot of old EM pinball work. So if you're interested in that thing, here's my link. Here's a Midwest Gaming Classic link too. We were talking about them right now. If you don't know what Midwest Gaming Classic is, it's the best all-around gaming show of its kind. Every type of gaming that you're into, that is MGC. Okay, that is good too. Any type of gaming, console gaming, video gaming, computer gaming, all that good stuff. Pinball, anything that you put a coin in, all that good stuff is at the Midwest Gaming Classic, April 29th through May 1st, 2022. Normally there's supposed to be a date on the bottom right here, but for some reason nobody wanted to update it, and it was still giving the info about last year's show. So I didn't want to promote last year's show. Oh, and the Gin Master, he's on Wednesdays, I think, at 6:30. That guy's crazy. Yeah, check him out, too. So check out the Gin Master. So there's, 4 of us that are streaming on MGC right now. And if you are interested in streaming, too, contact Dan Lucen at the Midwest Gaming Classic and tell him you are interested in streaming yourself. Maybe you can get on here with us and do something cool. But I don't know. Anybody got any questions? All 2 of you? Because one of the people watching is my laptop. So I know there's 2 people watching. And this is working great now. Ender's Tools. That's what this is. Yes, and now it's working good. I like having 2 of these at one time. Because if I need a tiny screwdriver, I have a tiny screwdriver. And then if I need a fat screwdriver, I got a fat screwdriver right away. Or if I need, this is a weird one that's got Phillips and flathead all on one. So, or if I need both, I always got 2. And then I don't have to, I can just leave them sit like this instead of grab. I have other screwdrivers, but I like these for some reason. I don't know, just the way they feel or their weight. I don't know, but I really like them. So let's get a last look at this B. It dropped down again. So we will push it back up if we can find it. There we go. Give it a full push all the way up. Seat it back down. now I shouldn't have to mess with it again. That glue was gummy enough where it should hold. Same with the C is great. The D is good. Yeah, I could probably give just a little push on that. There. That is good. C is good. That one was perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. B is great now. No, it isn't. I'm going to be messing with this one for a while. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put more glue on it. So yeah, I guess that's my job for the night, is to glue inserts. So I don't really want to do this on another episode. I don't like repeating the same part of a machine on an episode unless I have to. So we rebuild one flipper, we're just rebuilding one flipper. We're not going to do 4 flippers or whatever. Let's use a clean part of this. So yeah, I don't want to have next week's episode gluing inserts down if I can avoid it. But if I can't, we will. We will do other things and then we'll probably end up with gluing inserts again. Because it's got to be done. And how many people you know would sell a game like this too as, like, let's say a fully shopped game and then go through and re-glue all the inserts? I only know of a few people that actually fully shop games. Maybe 1 or 2 that do it exactly like me. I know a couple people that take shortcuts and they're like, well, I don't want to rebuild that because it's too hard. I'm like, well, don't label it as fully shopped then, if you're not going to do that. Mine are full refurbished games. The only thing I really don't take apart, I don't take apart score motors. I clean them, but I don't take them apart. I know there are some people that do that. I am not one of them. I am not messing with a score motor, taking it apart unless it's broke. There. A is good. So we have to do these. These I can feel are loose. This one's like dropped way down. I could do all these. So I don't know when I'm going to do them. I am not doing them this week, or at least tonight. What I'm going to do now is let this dry, and then I will move it. Then I will break down that pirate gold, and I don't know what's going to happen with it. Like I said, it's either getting out of my house ASAP or it's getting buried in my house. Because it's a parts game to me. Or, you never know, I might end up just putting it on the side and then slowly looking for parts. When I hear somebody parting out a machine, I'll grab some parts from them. So, but that can take a year or 2. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm not going to bore you guys anymore. Take care, and I hope everybody had a good day. I hope you learned something. And I guess that's about it. Thank you everybody for watching. And anybody's got anything to say real quick, do it, or I'm going to hit that end button. It's going down. It's going to go to the end button. It's going to go to the end button. My finger's on it. Anyways, take care everybody, and later.